Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. It is time to do the math. What's going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and I am back in the place to be, kinda, sorta. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash and I can get you guys this lovely information that you deserve. Because I have been looking all over the forums and there are people that are pissed. They are pissed that they don't think that they're going to be able to go over here to this event right here, Halloween event exchange. Now, as you can see, it's 13 days. That means one day has passed, and then today is today. And yeah, so the first and most important question is, are you going to be able to get what you want by just playing the game? Now, it's gonna be a little bit of, some crazy math, because usually you can. I'm assuming most people are gonna want the 10,000 selector. Then followed up by this one. As you can see, I have 490, and I got that pretty much in a day, give or take. So it's kind of, it's mixed with today because I was doing a couple tests to see how much you get from each thing. See, for me, I probably, I don't really care too much about this. I definitely want to make sure I get the awakened essences, and the dungeon tickets would be a good way to help you get some of the other ones, because we're gonna do the math and we're gonna see how much we can actually get. So first things first, we need to know one very important thing as we go here to the special dungeon advent. And as you guys know, I'll just go into a quick thing just so you guys can see it. Bonus info for each character that you have, which is just Offenbach, I think that's how you say his name, by himself, and then Electra with this specific costume on will get you, I think it's just one additional. I don't actually know what it is when you don't have them both in, because I'm not willing to risk to do it without. So I'm assuming one additional. So if you have two of them, you're getting two additional more, which is what I'm going to be basing my math on. So whatever number that I put out, just -2 from it. If you want, I know that's going to be a lot of multiplication on your end, but that's how I'm doing it, because that's how I do it. I think that's how most people, as you can see, I have 2,000 something crystals saved up. I got Offenbach in my first pull of him, and then I summoned 2 additional times just to get the 20 awakening essences, and Electra's thing was just 300, so whatever. And I still have enough to do a full pull on another banner, because I'm not in the Knights Chronicle content creator program anymore, so I have to be very careful about what I do with my crystals, and I'm sure you're the same exact way. So when these events come up, I know that you guys are probably like, I don't want to spend my crystals. But when you look at it, if you can spend a few crystals and get an SSR out of it while also getting something that you want. So if you take too long to summon for him, yes, that's not that great of a deal. But this is just 300 crystals, so at least you should be getting +1. If you have Electra, at least get this costume. It's good to get free stats out of it. And it's going to help you with this event to get something else that you want, and I think that that's usually always worth it, in my opinion. Are you going to have as many stamina potions as me? Probably not. I just collect these things. You guys should know I don't spend money in this game whatsoever anymore. So let's go by what each thing can say, and I'm going to just quickly flash over. Hopefully you guys can see that. So this is the first thing that we need to go over and discuss. Is going to be the actual how many pumpkins you can kind of get, and that's really going to help us out. So as you can see, for the hard and the nightmare, it says 10 times for each hard dungeon, but I don't really understand the point of them specifying that, because when you look at it, there's only one hard dungeon that you can do. Now for nightmare, that does change slightly, and I'll go into that a little bit later. For hell and Annihilation and Apocalypse, you can do 15 times for each dungeon. Now we're gonna count each dungeon, and then same thing for Annihilation, so it's 9 times for each dungeon. Even though this is actually written wrong, because it says hell for each hell dungeon, 9 times for each hell dungeon. It's written incorrectly. I'm very aware of that. It's kind of sad, but as you can see, it's pretty much for one full reset of each dungeon can you do it. Now, I'm of course going to be doing the math first for doing absolutely no resets, because that's what most of us are trying to see. If we have to spend any at all resources and, you know, be as cheap as possible. That's what we want to do. I want to know if I'm at least playing every day, am I going to be in a good spot? And I know that the people are talking about the stamina, so we will be adding the stamina into this. For Apocalypse, it's going to be, I'm assuming 20. I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. I can't clear Apocalypse. So each one that I've done, it's Apocalypse is 20 pumpkins, by the way. Annihilation, which are these, you know, Legendary Pirate and, you know, Tessa currently, and they're going to switch throughout the week, right? But throughout the 2 weeks, right? Annihilation is 19 pumpkins with the 2 skins. Remember, I'm doing everything with 2 skins equipped because that's what I have. Hell difficulty, which is this one and these 2, which you should be definitely very easy to do. They're not that difficult. They're going to be 18. Nightmare, which is this difficulty, and also remember this difficulty. So for me, I'll be doing 10 nightmares on that one, and then I'll only be doing 3 here. So that's how I'm going to be doing my calculation. And then last but not least, this one is going to be hard. And sorry, that's actually not last but not least, but you can do 10 of these. Hard gets you 16 stamina, 16 pumpkins. And then last but not least, this is Annihilation difficulty. So the White Knight Dark Knight thing is 72, so it's the same thing as Annihilation. So let us put all of that lovely information together and see how much stamina it's going to cost us and how many pumpkins we're going to be accumulating by doing this. And you're just like, I just want to get as many pumpkins as possible and whatever. You should be definitely 100% be doing these because they're easy to do. You can get 5 reps out of it. So when you finished one of these, when you're finished with one of these, you would have spent 260 stamina, and for that 260 stamina you will have 90 pumpkins at the end of that. So that's really good. So that's 90 from this one and 90 from this one, so that's 180 right here. Then I'm gonna go down here to this one because if you can do the hell mode, you can definitely do this nightmare, especially this one specifically. It's very easy. These are very easy. The other one is a little bit different, so let's go with this nightmare one. That is going to be 170 pumpkins, and it's going to cost you 360 stamina. So I actually forgot to mention, so the hell mode stamina, 520 stamina. So pretty much this is already gone. As soon as I'm done with my hell mode, that's gone. That's pretty much gone. I'm just not even including how much I start with, right? That's completely gone. This bonus thing here. And then 360, this is pretty much gone. I'm already dipping into stamina pots at this point to pretty much continue playing. 880 stamina used right now. So we're already near the thousands. As I've said, this is definitely rough, and I do understand that not everyone's gonna have a bunch of stamina stacked up. But like I said, you should be doing as much as you can and then letting your stamina regen, or if you have stamina pots, like for me, I blow them like it's nothing. There are other things that get you stamina into this game, so use that as if you need to, but remember, this is talking about doing this daily. So now boom, we have the hard mode, which is another 160 pumpkins, and we're gonna also add in 240 stamina. And that's the easy stuff. If we add that 240 in, we're at 1120 stamina right now. So that's the easiest stuff that most people that are like kind of not starting out obviously, but they could pretty much at least get that much, right? So you're going to be sitting at currently 510 pumpkins, and that's literally just doing the more easier content, you know? So 510 a day, obviously you're not going to reach 10,000. Let's see what that is actually. Close though. If you were to do that, if you were only doing that from the beginning of the time, beginning of when it started, you would actually be at 7,100. You wouldn't be able to get that one thing that you wanted, the big SSR selector, but you'd be pretty good. And that's again without resetting anything, with just, you know, using as much stamina. That has nothing to do with resetting whatsoever. If you start from 14 days, you would be at 7,100. That's pretty good. So let's add in the other good stuff, right? Let's add in at least one of these, right? Because let's be honest, you should be able to do Britain by now. Britain's like the easiest thing in the world, and they usually always combine it with one easy annihilation and one harder annihilation. Remember, we are also doing this with always 2 of the people. You might not be able to do the second harder annihilation with 2 characters that are in this thing. That's why I'm so happy it's 2 and not like 3 of them, because sometimes it's a little bit too hard to get 3, but 2 is usually manageable because these dungeons you only usually need about 3 characters, 2 really good characters are yours and the support unit, and then the other 2 are whatever. So that's what we're kind of hoping for here. So let's start adding these annihilations in. Only 57. Now this is what I was trying to tell you guys, is that it's actually kind of funny that the harder difficulty stuff, since you only can do it for a lower amount of times, it's not yielding as many pumpkins for you. It's kind of like you're doing it, and this is why I didn't like the people that were complaining and saying like, oh, this is grinding for no reason. You have to do this shit anyway. Doing your advents is kind of part of your dailies. You should be doing them regardless, whether you're getting the double costume bonus or not. So what, you know, why are you not doing this? The only reason, this is just giving you something extra for doing what you're only supposed to do. Honestly, in this game, all you're doing is advents, and you know, you're doing your, sorry, it's already down here, your Evo dungeon, your gold dungeon, maybe rune, you know, depending on where you're at. Like, this is pretty much where people are living anyway, is the advent. So I kind of found it weird when people were saying like, they, you know, oh, they're forcing us to grind. Like, what else are you doing? All these gacha games are the same. You're just grinding all day. So 57 times 2, because there's always going to be 2 available annihilations at all times. We're at 114 for that. The stamina though, woo, that's 432. Like, it's really not, like I said, if you want to just do the cheaper things, you almost come out a lot better, just saying. So that's a lot of stamina you're using on the annihilations. Now here is Apocalypse. Annihilation is 19, Hell is 18, Nightmare 17, Heart is 16. So I'm gonna assume Apocalypse is one more and is at 20. That's just my assumption. So you have 20 here, so obviously that would just be another 60 if you can do the Apocalypse difficulty. I'm not gonna do that in this calculation because I'm assuming you guys are scrub lords like me, and we're gonna just do another 3 on Nightmare, which is going to be 17 times 3. So we're just gonna add another 51 to our pumpkins. And as far as stamina goes, we'll times 36 times 3, and that's gonna be 108. All right, so that should be all of our lovely math. Like I said, if you want to add in this Apocalypse, you can do the math on that. I just know for myself, I can't clear that. So I can assume that it's 20, but I'm going to be just doing Nightmare. That's just me, and you guys can do whatever you want to do. So let's count up the stamina, all the stamina put together in one day, and that is going to be 1,552. That is a lot of stamina that you're going to be needing to do, and that is 5 times the amount. Oh my god, I pressed the wrong button. That is 5 times the amount that I have. That is a lot of stamina that you will need in order to finish this out. And like I said, even with the 600, you're still pretty, 600 on top of that is 900, so I still need another 600 stamina from somewhere. I need my stamina to almost refresh fully twice in order to do all of that. And I'd also have to win with 2 of those characters, which is the Electro with the suit and Offenbach. Or please, someone in the comments bless me on how we say this person's name. It's killing me inside. But let's see how many pumpkins that we're gonna get out of that. That's what we're here for, right? Let's add up the pumpkins. So in one day, without resetting, I got up to, I could get up to, obviously I didn't do it on the first day because I was, you know, I suck. So 675 in one day. So that is what it is I'm going to be getting within one day of playing and doing everything properly. So we can, you know, let's do the kindnesses. I'm gonna multiply that by 14. If you would have been doing this from day 1. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I forgot to add that one annihilation run, right? The white and dark night thing. So we'll just take that 675, right? And we'll take that 675, and then we're just gonna add one annihilation run, which is just gonna give us 19, which is now 694. Okay, so boom, we'll just multiply that. The only thing I kind of a little bit wary about is that I don't know if that Awakened Dungeon is going to be there for the entirety of the 14 days. But right now it's 694 times 14. And you actually will be at 9,700. So you still will not be able to get this, oh, sorry. You can't get the selector actually. So even if you were to do all the dungeons for the max amount of times that the game is allowing you to collect without resetting any of the dungeons, you will not reach 10,000. You literally cannot do it by my math. And that is including the extra white dungeon. This is also obviously excluding the Apocalypse, you know, and switching the Apocalypse for the Nightmare run. But you'll still be able to get this. You can actually get 2 of the SSR tickets, but obviously you can't choose who you want, but you actually be able to get 2 of those, and then you'll still have 1,000 left over, which then you can even get the double awaken essence. And then for me, that's pretty much all I would personally like. This is nice to have the dungeon tickets, I guess. The rainbow essence, you should not get that. I mean, you'll get enough of it over time, and you damn sure shouldn't be using it on gold. This is what I wanted to show you guys, that if you're gonna refresh anything, in my personal opinion, you might as well refresh this, because when you refresh Hell, it costs only 2. That's still a decent amount, you know. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it is kind of because that's gonna be 8, right? If you wanted to refresh this one the max amount of times, and then refresh this one the max amount of times. But as you know, it gives you the highest. Hell gives you the highest amount. The reason why Nightmare and Hard won't is because they're infinite and they are only per dungeon, so you can't really get that much out of it. That's 90 per like 5 set, whatever. So like it's 18 times 5 is 90, and then you would do that again, so now you're at 180, and then you do it again, you're at 270. So that if you're really trying to like not do as much, see what the math is for you, and I'm pretty sure that this will probably be the best option. And let's be honest, you probably need the SR Advents anyway. And then if you can get to these, you know, God bless. You know, sometimes I don't do my big Advents or something like that. I'm trying to get through all of them now, because as now we've done the math, it's definitely a hassle. But I hope this gives you guys some insight. Next video after this will be the man in the background. We'll do an off and back guide, you know, help you guys out with that. But I hope this was helpful in some way. I know a lot of people, they just see a bunch of numbers and they're just like, fuck, I don't want to do that. But if you were doing pretty good from day 1, you're pretty much in a good spot. Looks like, based on, since I didn't get everything on day 1 and now I'm doing everything on day 2, and this video is gonna release on day 3, so I do apologize because I'm gonna have to edit this, is that you're gonna have to probably reset something if you're just in the same predicament as I am, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are. You're gonna have to redo some resets. With that being said, good luck out there, guys, and remember, if you don't have the resources to get all the way up to that 10,000, don't get screwed and think that you have to spend money. Don't do that. Just accept what you're able to get, know how much you play, and realize what you're gonna probably end up with, and then just be happy with that. Don't overextend yourself. That's my one big message to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching all my videos. Thank you guys so much for the continued support, and that's why I took the time to do all this fun, very fucking annoying math. But remember, one very special thing is that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I will see you guys in the next video.